I do.
Yeah.
Oh, you know that.
Maybe they better give it to you first.
I don't.
Now I'll call the meeting of the Carbon County Board of Commissioners to order. Please rise for a moment of silence, prayer, and pledge of allegiance. Oh God, thank you for the gift of this new day, and thank you for the blessings of this life. Family, friends, work, and purpose. Guide us as we discuss, plan, and dream together. Help us to make wise and just decisions. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
These proceedings are being recorded for the sole purpose of constituting the accuracy of written minutes. Minute tapes are reused, eliminating recorded records of these proceedings. The first item is the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held June 23rd, 2022. I'd like to note minutes of the meeting held June 16th, 2022, noting the general fund loan number 11 to Children and Youth Fund in the amount of $250,000.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes. Are there any guests concerning county business at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on.
The next item is a presentation by Jared Soto, the social worker case manager.
Would you like to join us up here, Jared?
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you all for having me today. My name is Jared.
Turn on your mic.
My name is Jared Soto. I'm do social worker with the county here. So part of my role is going to be working with the county through a grant to help divert individuals with mental health concerns within the court system, whether it be through the jail, public defender's office, probation, to services and linkages in the community for possible treatment, if that's more of what their kind of concern is when they're first coming in. So right now we're receiving referrals from the public defender's office, adult probation, and the jail. Spoke with Chief Schatz about how we could kind of further support the police departments around here at this time then too, by providing information, education, things like that, if there are any kind of needs, or even recommendations and supports if they're struggling with dealing with the individual in the community. So meetings that I've kind of had to this point, spoke with Derek George up at the jail, the deputy, the assistant deputy up there, and just trying to work on learning more about the processes and programs inside the jail to support the consumers after their intake, while they are in the jail, along with resources to help them acclimate back into the community. Finding out more about organizations that are already working with the county, such as Prime Care. Still have to work on meeting with them yet, but it seems like they're doing a lot of good and could provide a lot of good support for the inmates while they're there. Working with adult probation with Joe Burke. We're working on receiving referrals based upon the assessments that they're completing for their clients there. Once those assessments are completed, I will kind of go and provide a further assessment to see if there's any other service linkages that are there, anything that they could kind of be talking more about with Prime Care during their therapeutic sessions, that they have an opportunity to receive that care while they're there. Met with the Luzerne County and Lehigh County social workers to this point. They've helped me kind of develop a tracking system for each of the individuals that I come in contact with, recording all the data, trying to find identifying data, which I'll talk about in a little bit, about what we're going to track over the long term, so we can kind of see, is there certain populations that have more weaknesses, or is there certain more people that are falling under kind of conditions like housing, that kind of need. So the more that we kind of keep track of this data, we'll be able to kind of say this is more the population of what we're dealing with specific to our county. Attended the Chiefs of Police meeting. I'll talk about a little bit more about the intercept model, which is part of a larger initiative of what we're doing in a little bit. But I spoke with Chief Schatz the other day. He's going to talk a little bit after I'm done talking about it's called crisis intervention training. It's part of this model, which will be like on the intercept level 1, where when people do come in, what are some of the things that, as far as each part of the criminal justice system, who's kind of enacting everything at that time, what kind of support can they provide to people with mental health struggles at that time. And then also I'm just kind of coordinating with other community agencies to kind of see how they're providing services and how they can further support the people that we're involved with through mental health, drug and alcohol, domestic violence, housing, case management, and the county assistance office. So basically that's just kind of my role, what I'm kind of doing to support the county within the short term. As part of what the grant's for is a part of a larger initiative called the Stepping Up Initiative. So what the Stepping Up Initiative is that it comes with the goals of reducing the number of people in jail with mental health concerns, increasing connections to treatment, reducing the length of time spent in jail for those individuals, and reducing the chance of overall recidivism, people coming back to jail after they've been placed there in the first place. Some of the information I've been preliminarily reading about is that oftentimes with people with low-level mental health concerns, the longer they're left in jail, incarcerated without the opportunity for treatment, they're more likely to reoffend because it kind of accentuates a lot of the symptoms that they're kind of feeling. They get themselves into trouble, or it can kind of create an even worse situation out of the one that they're kind of already in then too. So the model within Stepping Up that we're going to be kind of examining the overall part of the job is going to be what's called the sequential intercept model. So basically, a sequential intercept model is it's a model to advance community-based solutions for justice-involved people with mental and substance abuse disorders. Along the sequential intercept model, there are 6 intercepts along the way that people kind of transfer along as they move along the criminal justice system. So intercept 0 is your community service. So oftentimes if you get a call, it's either going to something like crisis at first if you have a mental health concern. How do we respond to those situations in the community? If it goes beyond crisis, the next level, intercept 1, will be law enforcement. So that's going to your local police department. How is it the dispatcher, how's local law enforcement responses to these types of situations as they're kind of going on? Intercept 2, initial detention and initial court hearings. So once people have been detained, prior to them having their court hearings, is there any kind of diversion efforts that could be made, any kind of agreements that could be made before there is a long-term detention for individuals if their primary reason for why they were brought in was because of some sort of accentuated mental health concern, or even intellectual and developmental disability concerns then too, kind of fall into the same thing. So we want the criminals to be there, the people that really need to be there, but is there other people that maybe just make mistakes based upon a certain set of symptoms they're experiencing at a time then too? Having more kind of diversion efforts to kind of see, is there other opportunities at this level before we start the long-term treatment in that kind of way? But if people do have to go to jail, that would be intercept 3, once they're in the jail in the court system. So once they are in the jail, is there ways that we can provide more support to them while they are incarcerated, which is kind of what Prime Care is already doing, and hopefully finding out about more services in the community that could also be working with the jail, or even having them come into the jail to work with people prior to them being released, so there is a more smoother transition, which kind of leads to the next part, intercept 4, which is your reentry. So once you're doing your reentry, just making sure that do people have housing? Do they have their assistance set back up? Do they have some sort of foundation so there's less likely a recurrence of them going back to or putting themselves back in the positions that they came from? And then finally, intercept 5 would be community corrections. So it's kind of saying that once people are on parole or probation, or is there enough linkages to kind of support with the efforts of parole and probation, that once people finish out their terms, that they're kind of done and they can kind of continue with the linkages of services they've been set up to promote a longer term of recovery then too. So we're getting support through this through Gretchen Frank. She's our Stepping Up coordinator. So meeting with her bi-monthly at this time, she sent me a lot of resources on housing, things like that, learning more about other initiatives that other counties are doing throughout the country. As of the Stepping Up initiative, as of I think it was May of 2017, there was 360 counties that are involved in this program. And I think the most recent number I've seen that there's upwards of 550 counties throughout the nation that are involved in this in some sort of way. The commissioners here passed a Stepping Up resolution in 2015, so this is kind of just a continuance of that idea at that time to go forward. So basically, just to kind of sum everything up before Chief Schatz comes on here, in the short term, I hope through the support and education provided by the Stepping Up initiative that we can continue to examine each level of the justice system in Carbon County and work to fill any gaps where possible. Overall, in the long term, the way we fill those gaps and support them over the long term is by tracking data of individuals served to see which populations are more successful and most vulnerable. We hope to identify services which are needed in the county, such as re-entry for individuals who do not have anywhere to stay upon release. So that's kind of going to be more the long-term part about just the data that we're going to collect to work on, and hopefully within 2 years' time that we could kind of collect this data, bring it back, and kind of say, hey, these are things that are kind of going on. Like I said before, these are the populations that are most affected. These are things that if we have them here, maybe it would help us transition people a little bit easier, make those foundational needs a little bit more strong and in place as they kind of come out and try to restart their lives in a more positive way.
Any questions for Jared while he's up here? News media, would you have any?
Just one quick
Sure.
question. When did you start this in Carbon County? When was this?
My first day here was on May 23rd, last month. So a lot of it has so far just been kind of just getting education, just finding out more about the linkages, how people are doing this kind of job in other counties. Obviously, you have to kind of I met with Luzerne and Lehigh, the scope of the counties a lot larger than here, but trying to figure out is there anything that we can kind of bring back on a lesser level, or maybe they're in the overall, if we can't do something the same way that we did, at least to be able to identify that gap and kind of say maybe this is an alternative, the best that we could do within the resources that we have then too.
And I know you referenced a grant. Which grant was this from under?
I'm sorry, I do not have that information, but yeah, I could find out more about that, but it was a grant that was received that allowed this collection to go
No,
through.
I don't know what that was.
I can't remember the.
That was the one from Paul Levy.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
that
district
one.
Yeah.
attorney's office,
Yeah.
or public defender's office.
Okay,
yes.
I can look that up now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Jared? Chief Schatz, would you like to join us up here for
All right, thank you.
your comment?
Thank
Yeah,
you,
thank you, Jared. Covered a lot of material there and a lot of things getting started. We don't have any results yet, Amy, so, but it's a start. We have to start somewhere, so. Chief?
Thanks for having me. My name's Joe Schatz. I'm the Chief of Police for the Borough of Jim Thorpe. And it's my pleasure to speak to you today about mental health. A few years ago, as an administrator, I came to the conclusion that the police department needs advocates for mental health. It was a big role. We looked at numbers. We've seen that the mental health complaints were rising. So at that time, we decided we were going to get involved with the training, first of all, and then implement the training onto the streets. Myself, Sergeant Boquico, and Detective Marzin all were CIT trained, crisis intervention trained. So we have the training to go out and administer different, how should I say it, roles in dealing with the connection between mental health and law enforcement. Beyond that, we sent all our officers to what we call a crisis intervention training as well, but it's a lower level training. It's a 6-hour training class. And at that point in time, they learn, ways to deal with mental health individuals on a smaller scale than the three of us, the three supervisors. So at that time, we got involved with the crisis intervention team throughout the county, and we do meet quarterly. And from there, we discuss complaints that may have come in. We have a system set up now with data sharing, and we do it's called the crisis data sheets. If we have a consumer that we deal with through mental health labeling, we do a brief data sheet on that consumer, and we email it to MHDS. MHDS in turn takes a look at it, takes a look at the information, and shares that with their staff, and then we come to some kind of resolution. Having Jarrett and meeting with Jarrett the other day was something that I treasure at the fact that there's more players now that we could reach out to, because I'm sure with law enforcement, our role of course is enforcement. So it's a little tough when when officers get onto scenes and they're dealing with a different type of person, trying to determine whether this is, like Jared had said, criminal or mental health. A lot of the stuff, prior to that was just incarcerate, and that in turn puts someone in incarceration. And ends up with really no treatment, back out on the street again, back dealing with law enforcement, back in incarceration. So having Jared, I think, is another tool that we can keep, like Jared had said in the model, of this circle going, so that we can keep our mental health flowing. On his end, in talking with him, dealing with the recidivism rate helps all of us out, because if we can get the treatment to the individual, the consumer, that makes my job a lot easier. That makes your job a lot easier, and that makes everyone who's involved with the process a lot easier. So having that in mind, thank you for allowing me to speak a little bit about the mental health. We're big advocates. I know our department is a big advocate with mental health, as well as some other law enforcement agencies here in the county.
And I think I'd want to welcome Jared, because I think it's a long time coming that we're doing this, and Chief Schatz for initiating to get this started. I think it's something that has to go to every police department throughout Carbon County and everybody. This is not a get out of free jail card. This is getting people the help they need. And every day we have people in the prison that probably shouldn't be in there. And if the taxpayers are looking at it, if we can get 10 people out of that jail and get them help, that's where we got to go to. So you're going to have a big job ahead of you, and wish you lots of luck. And I said, I hope, Chief Schatz, you can advocate throughout the county, and maybe we'll get some of these other police departments on it. That's going to be the key.
Yeah, and data sharing, like I said, data sharing is the big key, because you have to share, that type of data. And of course, we're constrained in what we can share, but we can definitely, there is stuff in place, and there is policies in place of how we can share it and how we can get the treatment necessary for these individuals. So that way there, the outcome is good. And for us as well, it's good for the officer, because when the officer asks me if John Doe was, what happened to him, I can come back and say, hey, listen, he was through here, he was through there, and it, it really does make a big difference. So thank you.
Any other questions in this meeting?
Just one quick question. In regards to, I know your department is very well trained with the crisis intervention training. Is that common practice in other police departments, or is that just something that is optional?
It is optional. I know, like I said, dealing with the mental health issues, I'd like to see the training, which I'm sure other departments as well. And I know, here in Carbon County, we're getting a lot more new police chiefs that I've met with personally and explain what's what. So I think you'll see a lot more down the road of, more departments buying in, to the mental health issue that we have. Yep.
Comment on that is that it's not only the police chiefs or the county commissioners supporting it, the local municipalities have to support that additional training as well. And they have to realize that how serious this mental health issue is today. It's worse than ever. And hopefully when they pass the budget, there will be an increase for mental health. And I understand there's some coming out of the federal government, but is it enough to do what we have to do? But it's extremely important that the police chiefs are in support of, and their township supervisors or borough councils have to get more involved and really understand the system and support it. Okay, thank you, Chief.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, the next item is the report of executive sessions held.
There was one executive session held on Tuesday, June 28th at 11:30 a.m. and one on Thursday, June 30th at 9 a.m. Both were for personnel reasons.
The department reports, budget transfers 2021, 2022.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Supplemental appropriations,
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Expenditures, approval of check numbers 229643 through 229737 for expenditures to the general fund clearing account totaling $749,590.21.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The treasurer's report?
Move to accept.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The personnel report for county departments.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The acknowledgements for courts and row offices.
Motion acknowledged.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Correspondence was received as listed. Copies will be made available to the press upon request. A county policy for adoption. Policy number 2022-01, outlining the mileage reimbursement rate of 60 cents per mile for use of a personal vehicle while conducting county business to be effective July 1, 2022.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Human Services, for approval, the authorization for the Carbon County Action Committee for Human Services to continue uninterrupted homeless assistance program case management and rental assistance services beyond June 30th, 2022. It is understood that any expense incurred as a result of these services on or after July 1, 2022 will be recorded as fiscal year 2022-2023 HAP-related Human Services block grant cost.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
HSDF program, authorization for the Carbon County Action Committee for Human Services to continue uninterrupted Human Services Development Fund supported chore, housing-related service planning, case management, and HSDF HAP services to clients in and beyond June 30th, 2022. It is understood that any expense incurred as a result of these services on or after July 1, 2022 will be recorded as fiscal year 2022-2023 HSDF-related Human Services block grant cost.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Homeless Assistance Program for approval and execution, a letter of agreement between the county and the Carbon County Action Committee for Human Services to provide any and all assistance requirements under the Homeless Assistance Program guidelines and funding provisions in the amount of $27,359 for the term of July 1, 2022 through June 30th, 2023.
Motion approved and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
HSDF for approval and execution, a letter of agreement between the county and the Carbon County Action Committee for Human Services to provide any and all assistant requirements under the Human Services Development Fund Program guidelines and funding provisions in the amount of $50,000 for the term of July 1, 2022 through June 30th, 2023.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The Sheriff's Department, Vehicle Fleet Financing for ratification. A revised proposal submitted by Enterprise Fleet Management of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, for 3 additional vehicles under the Vehicle Fleet Financing and Maintenance of the Master Open-End Equity Lease Agreement, approved April 27, 2017, agenda item number 17-159. The vehicle monthly costs with a term of 60 months, and it previously replaces an agreement that was approved on April 14, 2022, agenda item number 22-194, as listed.
Motion approved.
Second.
Ratify.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The Solicitor's Report?
Thank you. Under Agency on Aging, seeking a motion for approval and execution of addenda to the agreements to continue to provide personal care and home support services for the term July 1st, 2022 through June 30th of 2024 at the rate of $20.28 per hour, an increase from the previous rate of $19.68 per hour, with Caregivers America LLC of Clark Summit, Maximum Care Incorporated of Whitehall, R&L Helpmates Incorporated of Hazel Township, and Traditional Home Care LLC of Dunmore.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
county received a banner request for approval and execution for display at the Jim Thorpe train station by Lehighton Down Partnership and Carbon Chamber and Economic Development for the Lehighton Second Saturday and discoverlehighton.com. The banner to be displayed from June 25th, 2022 through July 12th of 2022, and again on July 30th of 2022 through August 15th of 2022.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
On the courthouse renovation project, seeking a motion for approval and execution of a change order to increase the original contract with Boyle Construction Incorporated to include Slate Structural Engineers LLC at a cost of $14,000 and Peak Utility Locators at a cost of $1,600. The total change orders are $15,600, bringing the new contract total to $790,150.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
And then likewise on the 525 Iron Street project, seeking approval and execution of a change order to increase the original contract with Boyle Construction to include ACM Associates for $3,000 and Bowler Engineering at a cost of $19,850, bringing total change orders to $22,850 and a new contract total of $335,950.
Motion approved and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
For children and youth, seeking a motion for approval and execution of a third extension to the consulting agreement with Kelly Noble of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, to provide fiscal consulting services to the Children and Youth Services Department, extending the agreement to December 31st of 2022, and all of the other terms of the prior existing agreement are to remain in full force and effect.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Under electric for the county accounts, seeking a motion for ratification of an agreement with Constellation New Energy Incorporated of Houston, Texas, for the purchase of electricity for 46 service accounts for a term of 36 months at a fixed price of, I'll say it this way, 10.636 cents per kilowatt hour, as recommended by our consultant, Apollo Edison.
Move to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Under Parks, seeking approval and execution of a special activities agreement for the use of Josiah White Park, along with a request for a gazebo from New England Valley Mennonite Church of Tamaqua, Pennsylvania, for a street meeting, including a cappella singing and Bible teaching, on July 24th of 2022, and again on September 25th of 2022.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
For the Pocono County's Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, seeking a motion for approval and execution for the program year 2022 Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act financial agreement commencing July 1st of 2022 and terminating June 30th of 2023 for employment training and related administrative services between Carbon County and Monroe County, and the maximum payment shall not exceed $1,736,453.
Motion approved and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Similarly, for approval and execution for the program year 2022 Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act financial agreement commencing July 1, 2022 and terminating June 30th of 2023 for employment, training, and related administrative services between Carbon County and Pike County, with the maximum payment not to exceed $671,285.
Motion approved and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
And again, for approval and execution for the program year 2022 Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act financial agreement commencing July 1, 2022 and terminating June 30th of 2023 for employment training and related administrative services between Carbon County and Workforce Wayne Incorporated of Wayne County, with maximum payment not to exceed $427,286.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Right, seeking approval of resolution 21 of 2022, honoring Cody Robert Meckes, a member of Boy Scout Troop 555 of Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, on attaining the rank of Eagle Scout.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
And may I read the resolution into the record? Okay. Whereas Cody Robert Meckes of Jim Thorpe has succeeded in achieving scouting's highest honor, the rank of Eagle Scout, and whereas Cody Robert Meckes is a member of Boy Scout Troop 555, sponsored by Christ Lutheran Church, Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, and has been involved in scouting for 13 years. During his scouting career, he has earned 44 badges, including hiking, cycling, first aid, personal management, and camping. Cody has served as a senior patrol leader, den chief, patrol leader, chaplain aide, scribe, and quartermaster. And whereas Cody Robert Meckes' Eagle Scout project was constructing 4 picnic tables around a fire pit behind the church for additional seating during COVID for Christ Lutheran Church in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, Cody spent 202 hours on this project. And whereas Cody Robert Meckes has developed the necessary skills and determination to achieve an honor he will value for a lifetime. And whereas Cody Robert Meckes is an inspiration to young men through his dedication and leadership. And whereas the Board of Commissioners of Carbon County wishes to acknowledge the accomplishment of Cody Robert Meckes. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Carbon County hereby recognizes the achievement of Cody Robert Meckes and hereby commends and congratulates him in attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. Adopted by the Carbon County Board of Commissioners this 30th day of June, 2022. Next, for the Tax Claim Bureau, seeking a motion for adoption of a resolution authorizing an increase in the bidder registration fee to $50 for filing an application to register to bid at an upset sale or judicial sale.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
That's it? Okay, any further business? Hearing none. Commissioners' reports, Mr. Honor?
I think like the only thing, if anybody has any questions, I mean, we've worked on the courthouse renovation. Everything's, I think, going well. If anybody has any questions about, I think at the courthouse, we did change. I know there was a little, not controversy, but where we were gonna locate a pole that was gonna be in front of the Asa Packer mansion. Well, that's not gonna be there now. We're going back to the original one. It's gonna stay on the pole where it's at. And for the Lehigh Iron Street project, that Bowler Engineering for the 19,000, that's reconfiguring the parking lot to the 43 spaces like we agreed to with what the borough wanted, and some safety upgrades for that. And the $3,000 part of that for ACM was like that lead testing, the asbestos, and we did get a negative test back on the asbestos. I think that was last week, so we're in pretty good shape there on the building projects. And that's all I have.
Okay, Mr. Lukasevich?
Yeah, a couple items. Saw the increase of the mileage reimbursement from 45 cents to 60 cents a mile. That does coincide with the most recent announcement of the IRS to increase the reimbursement rate. And I'll say, if you look back historically, the last time that 45 cents was a reimbursement rate for the IRS was 2006. So, you know, and it couldn't find any record of the county, you know, of when we actually changed it to 45. So that's definitely necessary. That increase is going to positively impact about 25% of county employees. So in 2021, and I'm going to thank the controller for helping collect the data for me, 99 employees, which is about a third of them are what I refer to as high frequency, high mileage accumulators. Were reimbursed a total of $38,271 for just over 85,000 miles driven in their personally owned vehicles for essential county activities, meaning, it was a requirement, job had to be done, county fleet vehicles were unavailable or not practical. And we do have 51 vehicles, across our fleet. Now that reimbursement rate, if we take it to 2021, that would have increased the budget just under about $13,000. So it's not a significant impact on the budget, but it is one we have to be conscientious of. And that beckons the requirement for greater accountability and control of this specific program. I want to thank the Controller's Office, Children and Youth and Aging. We've been working over about 2 months to bring to realization a pilot program that would use a mileage calculating app, right? So something more aligned with this than this to help us streamline the process and more accurately determine the mileage that is to be reimbursed. And we're looking at a 5-day pilot program, 2 high-frequency, high-mileage accumulators from children and youth, 2 from aging, and then working with the Controller's Office to kind of roll that data together through the back office of this application. And part of the role of this application and the process for consideration, one, it reduces rounding up. So instead of 31.4 miles or 5, you might say 32 miles. It reduces the amount of time that is spent out filling out a form, most concerningly with the high frequency users. It eliminates the supervisor's requirement to confirm each mile entry. So, Chris went from 1211 Center to 2 Hazard Square. Who's gonna sit there and do that every time on one of these documents? It's unrealistic expectation of the supervisor. So this would potentially eliminate that requirement. And then finally, IRS compliance, because this is a tax-free reimbursement. And I said the high mileage, high frequency, high mileage entities, Children and Youth, Area Agency on Aging, Coroner's Office, and then really high frequency are IT folks who are always out running around, and that's only gonna increase as we develop Iron Street. That's on that one. Had a request or an inquiry in regards to our parking ordinance about 2 or 3 weeks ago. We just had a discussion about we are re-looking of updating the ordinance, but part of that is the validated parking that we plan to commence in 2022. And just an update on that, implementation and execution instructions are under review. All 3 of us have a copy of those from about 2 weeks ago. The system has been tested at the kiosk via the Flowbird app and on the computer website of Flowbird. It's working fine. Looking at a 30-day trial kind of stress test using GIS and the recorder of deeds. Once we kind of confirm, the process, implementation process that has been outlined. And if things would flow, there's a potential that this would roll out throughout between July 22nd and January 23rd. Again, flexibility is built in. As you know, we are working through the process of hiring a new parking director, senior technician, so that it could impact the way ahead. That's all I have.
And I just wanted to tag a little bit something onto that gas mileage thing. We're actually going through the process of purchasing new cars for the county that we're replacing them. And we're actually gonna get 3 hybrid vehicles that get 5 miles to the gallon better than what we're getting. So we're trying to work this out with the gas. I don't know if that was gonna be in your report, Wayne. I didn't wanna, but it's like we're just trying to help out wherever we can here.
Yeah. If I could have about 2 minutes of the media's time immediately after the meeting for a separate subject, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, going back to the vehicles, and the reason it was ratified as well was, we didn't get the cars we really wanted on a couple of them. We were looking at certain models and everything, but because of the supply chain and the ability to get them in a timely fashion, these vehicles, I think, 2 out of the 3 or something were already on the ground. They were on a lot somewhere. It's either take it now or if we special ordered, it would have been months. I know one of the issues we're running into as far as renovation project, we're told the generator is 40 weeks.
Yes.
So if we want a generator, we better order it now for next year. That's, and we're suffering that in many other areas, even the training center. It took us 12 weeks to get the training, the trim work in the color we ordered for the police building. And we talked about changing the order, but the color and that, but then we would have went back to the bottom of the list. So we just sat it out, and after 10 weeks, we finally got it. Yeah, next week, or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then it got, well, next week, maybe. So, yeah, supply chains continues to be a problem on a lot of things, so. But as far as the cars, you know, when you look at what we're paying out and the additional cost, what would it cost us to purchase or lease additional cars? Because these people are on call, they're at home, they don't know when they're gonna get called out. The coroner's office in particular, you might have 2 or 3 calls at a time. I know the coroner's office was out on over 600 calls last year. So that's another extremely busy office, and the deputies are spread out throughout the county. So how do you really justify giving a car to these people? If you have 5 deputies throughout the county, it doesn't, just not fiscally feasible to do. So that's all I have. Meeting adjourned. Kelly. Ryan.
Nothing.
Okay, Amy, I know you got
Yeah,
one.
I'm gonna have that. With regards to the agreement with Constellation New Energy Incorporated, was that through the electricity auction?
Yes.
When did that take place?
Oh, about 2 weeks ago?
When we, as soon as you authorized them to act as
Yeah.
your agent, they went out and
Okay.
had the auction.
And, I know it says 46 service accounts. Do you guys know, estimate how many kilowatt hours you guys use for that?
We know exactly, but not off the top of our
Yeah,
head.
not here,
'Cause
we
had to
did
provide
have it,
right? Yeah.
it's somewhere.
Can somebody email that to me?
Yeah,
Turn off the lights when you leave.
right, yeah.
And in regards to the renovation project for the courthouse, when are you guys looking at really kicking it off with regards to bids and all that?
Well, I think we're still looking at that September 19th date.
September
You know, I think
19th was
we're,
our
I mean,
last
it's
meeting.
very close. I mean, there's little details on what kind of work we want in different areas, but I mean, we're almost there. Yeah.
And that's all I have, and thank you.
Okay, have a good week and safe. 4th of
July.
You too.